quick moment to appreciate how good the Mark II is looking now that she's been lowered. And I do think I'm gonna leave the 185/55 tires on the PowerTech. I don't mind how the car looks as it currently sits at all. I think the car looks great. I did mention smaller tires if I want to go lower on these wheels, but I have other wheels. So at the current moment, the Mark II is sitting really nice. Now, you guys know the next big step for the Mark II is the manual swap, which is hopefully happening this week, and some of the first pieces have showed up. Now, before I go ahead and open up this package, massive thank you to the friends over at YourTuning.com. I've been working with them for years and years now, and they're always hooking it up. So thank you to these guys. And if you're not already following them on Instagram, make sure you do so right here on the screen. They're posting up deals every single day, so don't miss out. All right, so let's see what we got. Bam. So fancy. So let's see what kind of goodies we got up in here. And it's bushings. Lots and lots and lots and lots of bushings in here. So like I said, we're doing the manual swap in the Mark II very, very soon. And the shifter I have for the car would have worked, but again, while it's out, we might as well replace all the pieces, which is all this. So new shifter bushings for the tunnel on the trans portion. This is one of the arms here. This is the bottom piece that sits inside the shifter box. I'll show it all again actually on the shifter box itself, but the pieces are super worn out. So while it's out, we might as well go through and replace everything. This is the Mark II 6-piece shifter rebuild kit, I believe is the one I got. And it comes with everything you need to rebuild every piece of your shifter box on your Mark II. All the way up to the transmission. So the whole thing will feel brand new and nice and not all crazy. Also got the shifter alignment tool which you need once you do all the bushings and pull it all apart. This locks it in. That way everything's adjusted properly and you can find your gears. And I'm also seeing we got a shirt. Let's see what we got here. There's the back. And there is the front. So again, massive thank you to the friends at YourTuning. Make sure you guys follow them on Instagram, check them out, shop for some stuff. They have just about anything you can need for your Volkswagen, your Audi, any of your European cars. They've got almost everything. So definitely make sure you guys check them out. Oh no. That was a bit more than I needed. So here are all the pieces out of the packaging, and this is what's gonna make our 30-year-old shifter box feel like new. Now let me grab the shifter box of the car and show you exactly what we're dealing with. There we are. Not familiar, this is the shifter box for the Mark II, also very similar to the one in the Mark III for the 020 transmission. You had the rod that goes forward, and there's a linkage like this one here that goes over the transmission. That's how you select your gears, but there's bushings like this one, and what's left of this one right here that keep everything aligned properly. What happens is over time, these bushings break down. This is all 35 years old, and it falls apart like that, and then your shifting gets super sloppy, and this feels crazy, and it's just not a good feeling. So all of these bushings need to go into here and make all of this nice and brand new. Also, you can see on this one right here, this is one of the biggest ones that always goes bad. It should look like that. You see the difference there? So this piece breaks down over time and goes from this to that, and then again, it makes finding the gear very difficult, and everything just feels sloppy and not good. Front side of this one still looks decent, but the back side's pretty much gone. And again, I showed this one already, but that's nothing left. And also, we'll pull this off real fast so I can show you the mess that is inside of the shifter box itself. Actually, let me go ahead and turn this to the side so I can get the light in there and you can see, but it's a bit of a mess in there. Take a peek inside of here. You can see there's just endless amounts of bushing material and plastic that are just falling apart and it just breaks down, and everything just gets very not good feeling. There's also some bolts in there, which is the hardware for this, so ignore those, but all the bushing material is also that's what's left of this bushing and that bushing, and just everything there is just falling apart. Here, this one and that one, which are these ones here, look to still be in pretty good shape, but these ones just swivel back and forth. They don't really see any impact like this one does, or this one, or that one, or the bottom ones, which is this whole setup right here that goes down at the base of the box. So those ones still look pretty good, but all the high impact ones are basically gone. So first things first, disassemble everything. We're gonna take this bolt off and remove this piece right here, which is part of the selector. We'll pull the rod through right here and then out of the shifter box and start replacing stuff. All right, so with this piece now removed, we can just simply slide, if I can do it one-handed, slide this off, like so. So there's that. So now we need to get this rod here and this one as well, both out of the shifter box. Quite a while since I've actually gone through and rebuilt one of these shifter boxes. Normally we like to do the 020J stuff because it's just much better in my opinion, but for the 020 kind of cars, this is what you got. And I haven't rebuilt one of these since Miley way back in the day, and this part, getting this rod and this all out of the box itself, will kind of vary depending on how bad or good your bushing is. If your bushing's completely gone, which I still have a little bit in there, but if it's completely gone, you have way more room to move the bar like this and actually clear this back wall and pull the whole thing out. If you have like a newer style bushing, once you actually put the new bushings in, it's quite a pain to actually get the angle right to get it back through and fed this way. What I did on Miley years ago, I actually cut a section of this whole back wall out. That way this would come straight back out and have more room, not trying to clear the wall. So we'll see how this one wants to come out and go back in, but I may just cut a little square out of this like I did before and pull it straight back, and it's just easier that way. We'll see if this one wants to fight me or if it wants to just get out of there. I can't remember if I pull, no, because this has to go on together. So I'm gonna pull this as far up as possible. Let's see if we can't clear this back wall. The problem is you get hung up right here. Oh, maybe not. There we go. So there's the back piece out. There we go. So not too bad coming out. Again, like I said, this one, the bushings are pretty much gone. So you have that room to tilt the whole thing like this. But once you have the brand new bushings in, there's no room to do any of this. So getting it to go back in, I found was a nightmare. I ended up cutting a big square back out here. That way I could just go straight in like this all the way through, and it made my life much easier. So more than likely, we'll do the same thing. It doesn't affect anything, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, let's go ahead and dump all this out of here because there's a mess of bolts and bushing pieces and just dirt from ever. We'll clean this out and then we can start going through and rebuilding our shifter. So I removed the bolts out of here, which is just the mounting hardware for this. I just stored it in here not to lose it, but I'm curious to see how much stuff we get out of here. So let's see what we got. There we go. Mostly empty now. All of that. We got dirt, we got pieces of bushing. I don't even know where those go. I have new ones, but I'm not quite sure where they go. I think they're part of the guides for the piece there at the bottom. Get some paper. What is this? Something or another. No clue. But we got a lot of junk in there. Is it a coin? Oh, that's a coin. I'm gonna go through and try and clean it off. It's a penny, but it'd be cool if it's like from super long ago. We'll see. I'm gonna keep that. The rest of this is all just trash, and now she's empty. We're gonna go through. We gotta pull that bottom piece off, which the bolts are inside of there. Pull these bushings out of there. We'll be on our way. We have all of our new stuff. All of this has been disassembled. All you gotta do now is pretty much a matching game. You just find the bushing that matches where it's at, whether it's here, there, inside there, and go through, pull one off, replace it with the corresponding new piece, and then that's it. So obviously this piece is that piece. This whole thing goes down in there. We got bushings for the front. You just go through, match everything up, and then you have a brand new shifter setup. Also want to note, and you might not need it depending on how stiff your new bushings are, but having some silicone grease is super helpful going through, trying to pop the new bushings into there, into this one. Sometimes they go in fairly easy, but having that grease makes it a world of difference sometimes. All right, so making good progress on all of our bushings and new pieces. This piece is all done. So new bushing there, guide, and the whole new rod. All that's good to go. Few things I want to note real fast. On the bottom of your shifter box, you can see there's a hole now. This piece right here, it's not screwed in. You actually take a hammer and go from the bottom side and hammer it back up and out until it pops out. So that's how that comes out. And then we're getting the ball off the bottom here with the spring. You're gonna want to push this down like so. There's a little rod inside there. Use a vice grip on one side, a hammer. You got to hold this down while you pop it out, and that's how you swap out your spring and this lower piece. So that's done. That's done. This new one will get dropped into there with our new hardware right here. All that reassembled, and then all I have left to do is the new bushing this one into there. And I think if I didn't miss anything, That's everything. And then like this stuff is transmission side, so I won't need this one or this one just yet. We're just doing the box and linkage, but going pretty smooth so far. Okay, so something I did not know many years ago when I first rebuilt one of these shifter boxes, which is also why this is not a how-to video. This is just you kind of watching me do this, and I'll explain some things here and there. But this piece, which holds this bushing that goes inside there, is rubber. I thought this was like a plastic housing. It's not. The inner piece there is kind of plastic, but this whole thing pops out back this way. There's a little tab there and a tab there that you simply kind of pop in and compress and pop it this way. So I'll put the new bushing in outside of there. When it goes back in, I'll slide this whole entire thing up further like this. That way there's plenty of room to clear the gap, not hit this, drop it in, and then from there, pop it back forward. It should work like that. I shouldn't have to cut anything, but the more you know. I probably could also go online and look up an actual way to do this, but I like to just do things on my own, so is what it is. But I've learned this comes out. And for some reason you don't want to do this, you can just chop the back and go straight through. That also works, but this seems like the more, you know, proper way to actually do this. All right, we are just about done. Shifter rod is back in. The whole bottom plate section is all new. There's new grease down there. That's all good to go. Now, before we put this last bushing here that is holding the orange in, I kind of cracked it a little bit on the top side, but it's all fine. What I'm gonna do, I think the plan is, because trying to reach down there with my hands and just push that bushing forward is be probably impossible. I think we just take this shifter and pretty much like put it like forward into gear. With this section here, this little arm, we'll push this and pop it through. Pretty much like you're putting like first gear, basically, just pushing straight forward. It should be enough pressure using this to simply just pop that through. So we'll see if that works. Just gonna say real fast, O2J and newer boxes without these annoying bushings are so much better. With that being said, this one is now done. Everything new inside there, and that piece is back through the way it's supposed to be. I thought if I just push forward with this piece right here, hitting the back of the bushing, it'd pop it through. There's not enough like leverage to push on it. So what I did, I used the vice grip and I clamped the vice grip to the actual bar inside there, and I pulled this back a little bit. Gave me more leverage as I pushed this forward. The vice grip itself pushed the bar, will push the bushing. So I kind of just kept smacking this forward, and eventually it popped through. So that is done. All of those pieces are done. We just have the new rods and some of these pieces that'll be on the transmission side. But the shifter itself is done. Everything's new and good to go. And then over here you can see our graveyard of just mangled and wore out pieces. This one inside of the shifter box there was completely gone, so just in pieces. This one wasn't too bad, although I will say, so this one this one over here, you can see when I got it earlier, it was like that. I think the entire thing, I think it works either way, but I think properly, this is supposed to be popped all the way in this housing. But when I got it, you guys saw this half was sticking out still, but I think the whole thing is supposed to go inside of here. Either way, it should work regardless, but I think that should be for the back. So I might work on that. But other than that, you can just see all the, look at the difference there between those two. So this piece here wears out. Get off there. This piece wears out after you go forward and backwards a bunch of times, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So all of that play comes from this thing being worn out, these being all destroyed. So all that's gone. Like I said, this will be for the transmission side very, very soon, but this is good. All right, so went ahead and popped that bushing the rest of the way through. I think this is how it's supposed to be, and if not, oh well, that's how it is now, and it'll work either way. So good to go. So at this point, shifter box completely good to go. Everything's been replaced. It'll feel great in the car. The last thing we're waiting for is the clutch kit to show up. And I've been out here the entire day, and I checked the front porch this morning, and there was no package there. So I don't know when this got here, but the clutch is here. And again, I've been out here all day, and I checked this morning, so I don't know what Houdini FedEx man did this, but the clutch is here, which is sick. Oh, dang it. I forgot there's, well, I'll swap it. Oh, it's so annoying. Well, there's a new shifter rod. I thought, it's okay. Guess it is what it is. I gotta pull that. Oh, it's so annoying. I knew I had a new one of these. I forgot all about it, honestly. The shifter bushing kit came on Saturday. This came at some point today, because it was not there over the weekend for sure. But to put this new one in, which I do want to have in the car, I had to pull that rod back out. That's annoying. Well, we'll see about this. But other than that, bam. got us a brand new OEM Sax clutch. Voila. So all the new pieces, brand new clutch plate, and then our pressure plates in there, and all the little flywheel bolts and all the good stuff. So that is very, very awesome to see. This kind of annoying, I missed this, but this is good. For reference, if you haven't seen, this is the clutch that came with the swap. Still a tiny bit of life left. It would have worked because the car makes no power, but to have a brand new one, as cheap as this was, it's a no-brainer. So there's old one. You can see the lines a little bit, but then looking at this one, look at that bad boy, meaty, ready for all the horsepower that 1.8 makes, which is almost none, but she's not gonna slip at all. So with that, gonna end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed. The manual swap in the Mark II is going down this week. We've got everything, shifters done, clutch kits here, we're ready to go. So this week, the Mark II will be manual finally. No more automatic, no more having the car randomly not want to start because it's never fun. So 5-speed in the Mark II this week. I cannot wait. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.